Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of what podcast is this?
Pinch of Nerd.
That's right, Pinch of Nerd.
Yes, welcome back.
Where we bring food stuff together with nerd stuff and we put them in ourselves and we enjoy both of the things.
Usually with our mouths.
We enjoy everything with our mouths. Even Batman, we enjoy with our mouths.
That's right.
But this episode isn't
DC
about
said
Batman.
Or our mouths. Is it about our mouths?
It's always about our mouths.
That's true.
Probably.
Okay.
But what this episode is about is me, J. Allen Bell, talking to
Mark Adams talking to our esteemed chef.
Chef Aaron.
Chef Aaron. So we got a food guy that knows shit about food, and we got three guys that know a lot about nerd shit.
Nerd shit.
And what specifically are we talking about today?
We're talking about the X-Men.
Ooh, the Uncanny X-Men.
And the Amazing X-Men.
Ah.
Do we go into X Factor? Should we go
And
into
the
X Factor?
Astonishing X-Men.
What I mean, you know,
And the Extreme X-Men.
Marvel has a lot of adjectives for everything. So,
The
you know,
Cordial X-Men.
The Fantastic X-Men.
the Dapper X-Men. Can that be one?
The
sassy.
Sassafras.
You guys are probably making
sassy-
real
the
adjectives,
X-Men.
and I'm like,
No, actually, we're not.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm sure there is somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a Sassafras X-Men.
Ooh, yes.
That's a good X-Men
Sassy
code
X-Men.
name.
I would read Sassy X-Men.
Okay, all right, it's time for our first segment.
Segment.
Mark Adams,
Yes.
if you were putting together a team of sassy X-Men,
Yes.
who would be on that team?
Oh, the sassiest X-Men. All right, let me think about this for a moment. Let me give a disclaimer before I start. Out of the three of us, I'm probably the least knowledgeable about, I'm just going to say, all things superhero. So I'm calling out to the listener out there that's a podcast completionist, and you're like, oh man, I love all these things, but I'm not as into the superhero stuff. Stick with us, because I'm your guy. I hear you. You are not alone. And I'm going to contribute. Watch me go. Sassy X-Men. Definitely, Jubilee feels like an obvious choice, right? Little fanfare, little fireworks.
Yeah, she's a vampire now.
Oh, that's still sassy.
Is she still a vampire?
I don't know.
I
What-
thought she
what
was
day is
actually. I thought she was actually.
Should we have given
not-
a spoilers warning for people that aren't up to date with the comics?
No, she's been an X-Men, or she's been a vampire for years now.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, that goes back to 2010.
All right. Well, if this is a spoiler for you, then where you been? Yeah, I'd still put her in there. Dr. Hank McCoy, Sassy Blue.
He
He does
always
get a
talking
little
about his
sass.
stars and garters.
He does get a little sass
He
happening.
gets a little sass. Again, I'm showing my ignorance on the whole X-Men thing. I feel like there's a lot of trans-dimensional jumping. There's a lot of timeline jumping. So can I just pick whoever I want? Because it's like nothing makes sense and everything makes
Sure, and
sense.
considering that 90% of the Marvel universe at one point or another has been an X-Man,
Right.
so I mean,
So I
you
could
could pretty
literally
much go with anybody.
Yeah, I could be like the Incredible Hulk, and that's right.
'Cause, I mean,
In fact, I'm going to pick the Incredible Hulk.
well, they retconned Namor into an
Really?
X-Man.
Imperious Rex. I'm definitely picking Namor.
Namor would definitely be a sassy
And
X-Men.
for my final selection, Sabretooth, just to spite Wolverine.
Okay.
See, I
I'll
went
accept
all over the place.
I will counter, though, and say what Chef Aaron just mentioned. I don't think that everyone has been an X-Men.
Ooh.
Everyone has been an Avenger,
Okay.
but they haven't made everybody an X-Men. Everybody has been in the X-Men comics, but
Oh, yes.
No,
as far as actual team members, they've kept it. I mean, there's a bazillion of them, but they haven't made Captain America a...
I'm sure give them
X-Men.
time and they will.
So, well, Chef Aaron, who is your sassy X-Men team?
You put me on the spot with
You're
this one.
welcome.
That's the point of these
I mean,
segments.
I'm the one that got on the spot. I'm like, hey, me and superhero, tricky, but I'm still here.
I'm going to go with, let's see, Sassy, Maggot, Callisto. I'm just thinking of the weirdest looking Goldballs,
Why they gotta be weird? Why can't they just be sassy?
because Sassy is
Sassy and
weird.
weird.
Weird and sassy go together like peanut butter and
Pickles?
yes.
If my X-Men name was Goldballs, and there is an X-Men named Goldballs, my X-Men costume would feature my sack hanging out.
Painted gold.
And it would either be painted gold or it would be in covered in like a nice silky
like a gold glitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And then people would be like, "What's your name?" And I'd just go, "It's Goldballs." Oh, actually, no. Let me take it back. People would say, "Hey, what's your name?" I'd be like, "It's Gold
Balls
with a Z."
Ooh.
To
With
get
a
that
Z,
extra
definitely.
Z.
Gold Ball Z.
I'm
Sounds
sorry,
like
but
a
I
good-
interrupted you.
Balls.
So
Yes.
continue with your
I think
sassy
that- I
team.
think that'll be about it.
So
I don't even
three?
list it, yeah.
Three
Gotta
team?
do at least 5 on your team.
Wild Child.
Okay.
That dude from Age of Apocalypse where I don't even know.
Oh, so you're going trans timeline too.
Oh, let's put Puck in there. Let's go Puck.
Nice.
I think
But he's
I think,
Canadian.
I think he's Canadian equals sassy.
There you go. Props to Canada. How you doing?
And polite.
I honestly
He'll be sassy, but then he'll apologize.
I'm not even sure if Puck's a mutant. I
Well,
think
he's an
he is.
alpha flight, right?
I think but they're not all mutants.
North
Because
Star.
technically, Sasquatch isn't a mutant. Sasquatch is just a mythical being.
Ah, okay. I was just gonna say, what makes you technically not a mutant in a world where there's like a whole,
You have to have the mutant gene.
Okay.
Yeah, the X gene. So I mean, Guardian, I don't think is technically a mutant.
He was, yes, I believe.
No, because he was. I want to say he was Department H, and they created him. So I think technically he's not a mutant. You got North Star and his sister Aurora are mutants, and Sasquatch, not. Puck, maybe. I don't know.
He's just a tiny, strong person.
Yes, like they all are.
Anyway.
J.
So-
Allen Bell.
Oh, so my Sassy X-Men. Well, it's going to lead with Emma Frost,
Okay.
Queen Bitch. She would be the lead, team lead. I would throw a little bit of Hank McCoy in there for a little bit of science sass, so I agree with Mark on that.
Hell yeah.
I would include Pixie and Magic.
Why are they sassy though? Is it just because they have fun nicknames?
I mean, I picked Jubilee because fireworks in the 90s, so,
More on her later.
On Jubilee later.
Jubilee, yeah.
Well, Pixie because she has kind of the like
Punk rocker hair type.
Yeah.
That's like a type of sassy.
Emma Frost just because she's
Cold.
sassy bitch,
Yeah.
cold-hearted bitch. But I mean, she owns it. I mean, that's what she.
No, that's great.
I'm not
That's her-
calling
that's
her
her
names.
character.
I mean,
No.
That's
no,
what
yeah.
she's
Get
all
it.
about.
Get after it.
Magic because she's
Russian.
lived in purgatory for a good chunk of her life and a little bitter about it. So she's got a lot of sass in her.
Yeah.
Is that just? Are you picking Magic because you just watched the New Mutants?
No, but I did just watch New Mutants, and we're going to talk about the movies later.
Mm-hmm.
So, good segue. Hey, thanks for the segue, Chef Aaron. This episode is actually just about the comics.
Hence my disclaimer.
We're actually going to be tackling probably the cartoons and
Plural.
the movies
Also plural.
in future episodes, but because there's so much with even just the comics, we figured let's just start there. And we might break off and talk a little bit about some of the other X teams, X Factor, X Force, but I think primarily we'll try to stick within the comic X-Men world.
Yeah, get to the roots of the tree before you get to the stump and the branches.
Yeah. So along those lines, Mark, you had already said that you're not super up to date or in the know for comics, but
Totally. I am
on a scale
the
of
dark.
1 to 10, though, on your nerdiness for the
Yes.
X-Men comics, where would you be, even though you haven't necessarily read them all?
Oh, I'm like a solid 2 to 3. Like I'm hurting over here.
Is it because of
But I
lack of interest, or just you just haven't done it?
No, I don't know. I don't know. How do I quantify this? I think growing up, I was super into it. I had a bunch of comics growing up, and I had, among other things, like the Wolverine miniseries. I was really into Wolverine as a kid, as a lot of kids, people my age
As
were.
almost everyone is since
Yeah,
it
yeah.
came out.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think the world of video games just eclipsed me, and that's where most of my nerdiness comes from, is sitting down at a console or
Playing
computer.
the X-Men Genesis game.
Could possibly, yes. I was thinking more X-Men versus Street Fighter. Played a lot of that growing up.
So, okay, thank you,
Yeah,
Chef Aaron.
Right now, I would probably say I'm probably about a 6 or 7.
there we go.
Now, that said, there was a time when I would have been a 10. Because, the X-Men, especially the 90s X-Men, when Jim Lee came out.
I do know who Jim Lee is.
That his run on X-Men was basically the first comic, one of the first 2 comics I ever received.
Fantastic.
I got that and McFarlane's Spider-Man #1 one year for Christmas out of the blue. And that started me down a dark, dark path. So it's like drug dealers. The first ones were free. The first ones were free. The next ones
need to get my fix, man.
Are done. So I mean, like basically from Jim Lee #1 through probably what was the big one?
House of M?
No, even past House of M. I read everything. I read every single X book there was. So I mean, from 90s to mid 2000 to mid 2000s, I was 100% all in. Lately, not so much, just because I haven't had as much time.
Time is a big one.
I've had a lot more time now recently, but like I've just started getting back. I just started back into the X-Men with the House of X and Powers of X. So I'm getting back into that. So it's coming back, but like I said, my knowledge is that chunk of time for those like 20 years there, right in the heyday of it all.
I think I've read probably almost every issue of X-Men since Jim Lee's relaunch, or since they relaunched with Jim Lee kind of taking over for everything. So it's probably my favorite comic.
Nice.
Well, actually, you know what? Let me take that back. It's not necessarily my favorite comic, because I think I like individual comics better, but it's the one I always go back to and I will always read.
It's one of those that's always been consistent. There's always intriguing stories. Sometimes they go a little bit off the rails, like when they had the whole House of X storyline where Cyclops now is the main bad guy.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry. So when somebody who's not normally a bad guy becomes a bad guy, that kind of, I fell off a little bit with that.
But now, wait, hold on a second. Doesn't that happen in other miniseries as well?
Every single X-Men character has become a bad guy at some point.
Right.
And vice versa. All the bad guys have become good guys.
Right. So okay. So I have a question for the two of you. For somebody like me, who's like, I don't know if lukewarm is the right word, but just kind of like, oh man, this is, I know the tip of the iceberg of this universe. Like, what's the best way to get in?
Definitely the Jim Lee. If you remember it, I don't know if you read it when you were reading, but it's
been a while.
I mean,
like
some of the stuff he did, I mean, bringing in some of the best bad guys, best villains.
Mm-hmm. And the art is just super good.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Jim Lee's style, which is what all of that 90s X-Men all was based off of his redesign of those characters. So the comics, obviously the comics, the cartoon, the video games.
Yep.
X-Men versus Superpowers. That's all his.
That's what we all know, that
character
blue
designs,
and gold thing. Yep. Yeah, and I think with being as ignorant as I am on the whole universe, I can appreciate sort of the evolution of the art, over time. Even beyond Jim Lee, like there's definitely some artistic choices that were taken in later series that
pouches,
pretty
lots
remarkable.
of pouches.
But honestly, they reboot the X-Men so goddamn often.
Yeah.
That
grab one and go.
Go to your local comic store.
House of M.
Comic store. Yeah.
House of M was
very
good series.
Just take a look at. Just pick up some. Honestly, just pick up some interesting looking trades. Just go look at the covers and be like, "Well, that looks interesting."
I mean, you can't go wrong with just picking up the major events either. Avengers versus X-Men was pretty good.
Schism was okay. That was when
I know I read
Wolverine versus Cyclops. A civil war, so to speak. They couldn't use Civil War because they just used Avengers Civil War.
Right.
So they did Schism, which is the exact same thing, just with the X-Men.
Like I said, I know I read it, but I don't. That was so long ago that I have no memory of it at all.
Time to revisit.
Yeah.
Then there's like the 12-issue arc that was just like Beast and Beak making out. It was weird. It was just
I want to read
that. It was just these two random characters. I mean, Beast obviously was a bigger one, but Beak, kind of a throwaway X-Men character. But there's like 12 issues of them. It was literally you're flipping through, and they're just making out. It's just picture after picture of them making out. Every once in a while, they take a breath, and they would just be like,
"It's the B series."
Yeah, this is great. let's keep doing this. And then they would just go back to making out. I don't know what the point of it was. I think it
X-Men
was
coming of age.
it was one of Morrison's kind of wackier kind of episodes.
Huh.
That was after the leather phase.
And this wasn't a specific miniseries. This is just a section of 12.
No, that was if I remember correctly, it was Uncanny X-Men number 347 through 359.
But
give or
sure, that
take.
sounds right.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, nice.
And but the only reason it stopped is because all the other X-Men came in and they were like, "God damn, get a room."
I mean, really, the weirdest part about it
the
was
end.
that
We'll see you next time.
the 4 issues arc where Cyclops was just standing there watching them. I mean, that's
But that
really
Wait. With or without his visor?
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of a joke on that one, but I just couldn't. I was going to
Well,
go
without his visor, there'd be more conflict.
but
and
he wouldn't be able to see it
That's true.
because I mean
Yeah.
he would just be firing laser beams at him.
Oh, I see.
So the
That's
bigger
true.
question was he wearing pants? Because he's never shown from below the chest.
But that was
An artistic choice.
and that's another thing that kind of is a little difficult in reading the X-Men comics. Is the makeout session was an uncanny,
makeout session.
yeah, and
An amazing makeout session.
the X-Men crossover was in Astonishing X-Men. So you have all these different X comics just weaving in and out.
Yeah.
So you have to keep track of all of them. So that is one frustrating
that's-
thing.
yeah.
But that is also nice about the collected trades is that's all included.
And it's all in order.
Useful. Okay.
So yeah, I would say pick up the I forget what the name of it is.
The astonishing makeup. Perfect. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let this go. I will eventually, but for now.
I think it was just like it was just called Get It.
Oh, they did. Oh, they got it.
Yeah,
already.
they got it.
They got it. Hey, good for McCoy.
Yeah, it was nice.
I'm happy for him.
So I do have a segment.
Oh,
Oh, God damn it.
Segment!
Picked the wrong one. Hold on. I do have a good segment that is a little similar to the first segment that I introduced, but I'm going to do it anyways because I like the segment. So here we go. Today's segment, which is something I always like to ask. If you came home from work early
okay.
and you caught your partner with an X-Men, which X-Men banging your partner would you be okay with?
Huh. Oh, boy.
I would say Gambit because I mean who could resist?
Oh, mon cher. Very nice.
I mean he's French, Louis the Cajun.
yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, shit, I would be in there with Gambit.
That's the spirit. Let's all have a
I mean he's suave.
Okay.
Rico Suave?
Yes.
Rico Suave is from Brazil?
You're asking me.
I'm asking the room.
The room. The room doesn't seem to know.
Rico Suave. Where was he from?
Wasn't that a song or is that actually
It
a
was,
person?
and I think it was actually a person also.
Yes, the singer.
His singer, he just sang his name over and over.
I want to say, this
Rico.
really ignorant assumption, but maybe Puerto Rican.
Oh, that's
Well,
probably
that might be it.
Yeah, that's a really ignorant assumption, but I'm just going to roll with it and put that out in the air. And
probably shouldn't sing it for
someone in the
royalty
comments will
reasons.
correct us.
Yes, if you do know who Rico Suave is and happens to know where he is from, please let us know in the comments.
There you go.
If Rico Suave is listening, please let us know in the comments.
There you go. And if Rico Salve, oh my gosh.
And Rico Suave, if you're listening, please let us know which X-Men you would be comfortable with finding your partner banging when you came home from work early.
We would, inquiring minds would like to know. I just wanted to say hi to Rico Suave. Hey.
Suave.
I can't get Suave out. 'Cause
You're
I
the
am
only
not
one in the
Suave.
room that speaks Spanish. And you can't say.
Disculpe. Okay.
Okay.
See.
All right, so Mark,
Let's
you come
see.
home early.
Yes.
It's been a long day.
It's been a
at work.
long day.
And the drive home was hot. Your
Yep.
air conditioner was acting up. It wasn't.
Stuck in traffic on the bridge for an hour and a half.
You're
Yep.
on the 205 for fucking just an extra hour and a half. And work was just annoying. You had people
Yep.
coming by your desk asking for the TPS reports.
Oh my God.
You
No more
didn't have
TPS
the
reports.
reports.
Please. Please.
Did you get the memo though?
I never look for the memos.
But you
We have
come
email
home.
now.
You open the door.
Open the door.
You hear some crazy noises upstairs.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, what is that?
And then you go upstairs.
Hello?
And you open the door. And your partner is with an X-Men.
Is going to town with Jean Grey. Why not?
And then you high five.
I
But which one do you high five first? Your wife or Jean Grey?
I think I high five my wife.
At what point do you set the camera up?
You know what? I don't set a camera, but given
Just take that snapshot in your mind.
given the limited history I know of Jean Grey and the lovers she has taken, I'm curious to know how that all plays out. And I feel like poorly, but I think it would make it would have to make a better, you know, it would have to make a better trade than Beast and Beak making out for 12 issues.
So they are just establishing that as canon right now, because if I remember correctly, Cyclops, Wolverine,
Yes.
and Jean Grey
yes.
are in a polyamorous relationship.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at, is like, so if there's any X-Men that is likely to find their way, and probably open-minded enough, you know, to kind of just slip into reality and be like, hey, I do you, it would be Jean Grey.
So along the lines of what Chef Aaron just said, if you looked out the window, who are you most likely to see out there?
Like pissed, all of them.
Like sad,
No, all
like
of them.
sad sacking, like walking back and forth, just like constantly looking up at the window, like, if only
done
that
yet?
was me.
Oh, definitely.
Would it be Wolverine or Cyclops?
Well, I was
Which
gonna
one's more likely
probably
to be sad
Cyclops,
sacking?
yeah.
Definitely Cyclops.
Definitely
He's got
Cyclops.
that mopey, whiny bitch.
What I'm saying is Wolverine might break through my roof, and then, you know, I'd have to get the HOA to fix that, which would be inconvenient.
Such a deal.
But I feel like, yeah, if your partner is gonna cheat with an X-Men, go whole hog. You know, go with the crazy polyamorous, you know, with the drama-ridden X-Men, right?
Whole hog. So there wasn't any hog-based X-Men that I can think
No.
of. There was Mr. Pig, which is a Batman character.
Yes.
Is that his name? Something like that. Anyways,
Yes.
but we're not talking about Batman. We're talking about X-Men. So I don't know if I like that turn of phrase there, the whole hog, just because. I mean, we are talking about X-Men,
Yes. And they are not pigs. Okay, fair enough.
and I don't think I know of a pig.
What about the
X-Men.
phrase "go for broke"? Like, I'm just saying, like, this is, you know, I don't want it to be Beak, right? I want it to be like, let's just boom, like, oh my gosh, surprise, my wife is a lesbian, and surprise, Jean Grey is real, and surprise, there are now X-Men after my wife.
But also, Jean Grey is it gives you an out
Is that right?
because she has mind control. So you could just be like, oh, well, my wife wasn't cheating on me. Jean Grey made her do that.
Oh, that's true. And maybe she did.
Maybe she did.
Maybe she
'Cause
did.
Jean Grey would definitely fucking do that.
So that would be something we would discuss in therapy, and my wife probably wouldn't be able to remember anything that went down, and you know, there'd be a journey for us, and there'd be a journey for Jean Grey, as you know,
And Cyclops.
yeah,
And possibly Wolverine.
and Logan. Yep.
So that is one thing I didn't, going back to an earlier point, because that's how we roll here. We go in and out of points.
Callbacks.
Yeah.
The industry, they're called callbacks.
One thing that one recent kind of arc, I guess, or event that occurred that I did not necessarily like within the X-Men was Beast brought back brought forward, I guess, in time, the classic X-Men.
Yes.
He went back and brought from
because he was from the classic X-Men, right?
No, well,
Yes.
he was a classic X-Men,
Yeah.
yes, but he went back in time and got himself the original version of himself, Angel, Cyclops, and Jean Grey as
And Iceman.
kids, and Iceman, yes, thanks, and brought them all forward
Gotcha.
to time so he could show
Very convenient.
so he could show the future Cyclops.
Yeah, that was back when Cyclops went all rogue and became the public enemy number one.
When you say all rogue,
He didn't get all of it.
he got all
Thank
up in
you.
rogue.
Double checking. Well, that
He took his powers.
So I was gonna say rogue, and I'm like, no, because that would be bad for my wife.
No, that would be risk. That would be the
Very
risk.
risky.
The risk you'd be willing to take.
I
though.
mean, sure.
Sweetest fruit.
On that note, Jay Allen, what you got?
For what?
So, what point were you making about the
Oh, sorry.
Hank
Yes.
bringing up the guys?
Oh, that's just one thing I didn't. That's one arc I didn't like. I don't.
Okay.
The displaced in time kids from the '60s.
Yeah.
And they're still bopping around, is the thing.
No, they're gone. He sent them back.
As one does.
Did he? 'Cause,
when
yeah.
you Time travel delivery.
as of what's it called, House of X, Jean Grey is still there.
Well, Jean Grey is... So, everybody dies and is born again. That's not the Jean Grey from
The First Class.
the First Class Jean Grey. That's Jean Grey reincarnated again. Because it had been 12 months since Jean Grey had been reincarnated. So, the Cyclops is back and so is Wolverine. They all back. So to answer the question of who would I be comfortable finding my partner with, I'm gonna actually chicken out on this.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I did, right?
And I'm just gonna say, really, realistically, any of them. Because if I came home and an X-Men was there with my partner, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah!"
I'd be like, nice.
This is
good for you.
Fucking cool.
Good for you.
I knew you were hot. I just didn't realize you could pull an X-Men.
But, you know.
Good fucking job. High fives.
And then there was a wobbly H. But I got nothing for that. Yeah, I guess that's kind of where I was going. Is just like, how more bizarre could I make this situation? Like, oh yeah, there'll be drama attached to it. Same idea.
No drama. There would not be any drama.
There's always drama when you're talking about X-Men.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
good point.
Yeah.
There are so many X-Men, and they've exploded and contracted that number so many times it's hard to keep track. But I still enjoy it. I still enjoy reading the comics, even though they do kill off Jean Grey every 6 months and bring her back a couple years later. They killed off Cyclops, killed off Wolverine. I mean, at one point they've killed off everybody, and they brought them all back.
How many times have they actually killed off Professor X? Charles Xavier.
Handful of times, because
I was going to say probably more times than I can count, because
in the big run, in Claremont's run, he died.
In Jim Lee's, no, he didn't die in Jim Lee's run.
Well, didn't he?
Because it was
Did he
long
die
after-
when Onslaught came on?
Think
That
so.
would make
Cyclops
sense.
killed him, but yeah, I don't remember. But
think
I mean,
so.
he's died a lot.
Because wasn't Onslaught basically like all of his negative thoughts?
It was
Him
it was
and
the-
Magneto.
Yeah, him and Magneto,
and
parts of
Magneto.
their personality merged together, which they're supposedly bringing him back.
Onslaught.
Yeah, again for the third or fourth time. Speaking of bringing shit back from the dead.
I mean, hey, when you have a favorite character and they're kind of gone for a while, it's kind of exciting to see them back. Even if it doesn't necessarily make chronological sense, because chronological doesn't even work for this series.
That's true, and it is always interesting to see how they bring people back. So they're going to. They're going when they kill Cyclops.
Yep.
He's coming back. When they kill Wolverine, for sure he's coming back.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So it is interesting. I mean, it's a little... It diminishes the impact of their deaths, but it is at least interesting seeing how they bring them back. Because they have to do something different. They have to do something new.
Right. And then
They can't just be like, knock, knock, knock. Oh, hey, everybody, Wolverine's back. Hey, high fives.
And then on a more meta note, it's kind of, I don't know that they show it a lot, because again, I haven't read every issue, or not even close. But kind of like knowing that this person is sort of trapped in this sort of cyclical existence. Does the character know that? Does the character realize, like, you might as well get to the point where, like, do they know they're in a comic book?
Well, oddly enough, in the more recent comics, that actually does...
I had a feeling.
Not the meta bit
Okay,
of them knowing that they're in a comic book, but the reincarnation bit, in a sense, takes place. And I don't want to spoil it for too much, but that does play a big part in the more recent comics, the Krakoa thing.
I was going to say that almost exactly is kind of how the House of X and Powers of X starts out. So it starts out with Moira McTaggart, who up until, I don't know if before that she was a mutant, but they reveal that she is a mutant and her power is reincarnation. And so basically she has gone through all of these lives. She keeps getting reborn, but she keeps her memories. And so now that's her seeing what the future holds and how to accomplish what Charles and Magnus wanted. She sets it up and sets them on the current path that they're on now.
But it's not really a reincarnation. It's more of a Edge of Tomorrow kind of thing, where her timeline keeps getting reset.
Right.
So it's not like she's reincarnated from the point of her death.
It's like The Simpsons, right? Where it's like 30 minutes is up, and they go back to start.
Exactly.
back
So
to
she,
zero,
so
yeah.
she comes back, but like I said, she remembers everything that happened in that life, but then she gets reset and reborn. And so she's, met Charles Xavier at, goes and meets him at different points in her life in hopes of changing the way things turn out. And it never quite works.
Because men, am I right?
Oh, gosh. You are right.
Bald men, am I right?
I was... Okay, cut this part out.
I'm totally right.
No, you're right. I was going to add a third thing, and I'm like, nope, don't do it. Nope. Men, bald men, we're good there. No other distinguishing characteristics about Charles Xavier that need to be discussed.
He's rich.
Ah, that's the one. Yeah, he's got
And
a
he's from
lot of
upstate
money.
New York.
Ooh, Utica, Albany.
Westchester.
Westchester.
Ah.
But then, of course,
Is
his,
it even a
his
real place?
Xavier Institute has been 100 different places also.
Yeah, okay.
Gray Malkin Lane.
Is that
I
where
don't
the
know.
original one was?
Yeah, that's where it's almost always been.
Because there was the Gray Malkin X-Men at one point.
That I don't know.
There's a lot of X-Men.
Yeah.
Yes.
What we're saying is there's a lot of X-Men.
A lot
Let's
of
go
X-Men.
through and let's name them in alphabetical order.
All right.
So there's Aardvark.
Yep.
There's
Abercrombie
Al.
Abercrombie.
with his partner Fitch.
There's
Yep.
Al. There's
Albert.
Al. Yeah. There's Alpaca.
Air Summoner, probably.
That would be a challenging thing.
Yep. Name all X-Men. All. Because some of those people, either they got recruited and then died, or they got recruited and then, next issue they quit. No joke.
Well, even that, just as a creative on an X book, it's like, hey, I've got a great idea for a comic character or for an X-Men character. Check this out. It's named.
Tupperware Tom. Of course it is.
No. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board
Because it already exists.
It already exists. And his powers are. Oh no.
Yeah,
His
Tupperware
powers
Tom,
exist.
I want to say, was in Days of Future Past 269 because reasons.
Yeah,
I'm
that makes
just
sense.
going to confidently, incorrectly go with that.
But that's what I mean. Exactly where they're at now is here's a new comic character and a new X-Men, and his powers are he can summon gold balls.
So we're not far away from Tupperware Tom. I really hope Tupperware Tom makes it.
They did actually do something with gold balls that was
I am
a
so.
little bit better in the newer stuff.
I turned my phone off, but I am so looking up Goldballs.
Yeah, he's a
when I'm
real guy.
recording.
Yes, he's
That's-
pretty fantastic. No, but
as I would expect.
speaking of powers, I recently went back and reread. It's a 5-issue miniseries. It's called The Worst X-Men Ever.
The word. Oh,
So
okay. I don't know this.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
So it
Written
was
by
It was written by Max Bemis, who is
Okay.
the lead singer of. I don't know
Say
if they're
Anything?
still. Yeah, Say Anything. I don't know if they're releasing stuff recently.
he tours at least because I saw him
So
a couple of years ago, I think.
anyways,
Solo.
the gist of the book is this kid who's a loser at school, loser in life, finds out he's a mutant.
How does he find out?
His parents tell him that we're mutants, we've been in hiding, you're probably a mutant. They take him to Professor X, and he determines that yes, or actually Hank McCoy determines yes, you are a mutant. Your power is you explode.
Oh, oops.
But you can only explode once and you die.
Yeah.
Because there's no coming back. So basically this kid is revealed that yes, he finally has something that makes him special, but he uses it, he dies. So that got me thinking, and oddly enough, we've talked about it a lot. What are the worst superpowers? What are the worst X-Men powers? So I'm going to throw this out there. So, A, you got Beak. Who
The ability to make out.
the ability to make out with Hank
McCoy
McCoy for hours and hours.
for
on end.
12 issues, which who knows what time is in this series.
So, I mean, but Beak, let's go through. He's a bird-like guy. He has hollow bones. He can't fly. He's just an ugly motherfucker
With a beak.
with a beak. So you
Okay.
got, he dubs himself exceptional. This is
Like X hyphen
yes.
exceptional.
So
you mean
that's-
the worst X-Men does that?
Yes, so that I was just getting to that. So that's Bailey, the main character of the worst X-Men ever. And I'm going to throw out these two hot button issues, or hot button guys.
Wait, are we not going to talk about worst superpowers? Because I really want to talk about worst superpowers now.
Oh, we can talk
We will,
about it.
but-
Okay.
So, but I'm saying,
All right.
I'm going to throw Jubilee in there.
I could. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to throw Angel
Oh.
in there.
Just Angel, not Arthur.
Just Angel, because to
Right.
make Angel cool and give him actual cool powers, he's got to go see Apocalypse. Because think about it, when Angel came on, motherfucker could fly. That's it. That's his power. You got a guy who can shoot lasers.
Yep.
You got a guy who's super strong.
Yep.
You got a guy who makes ice. And you got a chick who can move shit with her mind.
Yep.
And
you
can
got
fly.
And can fly. And you got a guy with wings who doesn't do shit.
This isn't controversial at all. But he's basically the Aquaman of X-Men. Is that what you're saying?
Kind of, I
you-
guess.
are you
But I
going
mean,
there?
even
Okay.
Aquaman has more use than Angel did.
Damn.
Angel could fly.
Those are. I mean, I would love to be able to fly. So Angel has something I don't.
Yeah.
have.
But does
that's-
that make you a functional member of a superhero team?
A functional member? No, I don't think there's such a thing as functional with the X-Men. I mean, other than the function of we have powers and we can use them.
But not his power, and I agree. I had never thought of it, but I do agree because his power of flight has been adopted by half the X-Men.
Rogue can
That's
fly
true.
at times.
Storm can fly.
Storm.
Joe can fly.
Joe?
Joe Mama.
Oh!
That should have been a rim shot.
Joe Mama.
I think I just like our segment hit. So
I would throw Dazzler in there.
Well, see,
Dazzler.
I thought about putting Dazzler on the list, but her and Jubilee's powers are very similar.
yeah, what does Dazzler do? I've never heard of
Basically
Dazzler.
the same shit.
Same-
She's
okay.
the disco queen.
Ooh. See, I should have had. If I had known that character, I would have put that character on my Sassy X-Men.
I would throw Goldballs in there because I mean, Jesus Christ, that's your power. That's all you've got now.
Swagger. Your power is
In
swagger.
2010, whatever year he came out, 2010, 2013. You're the new idea for new powers is he can summon gold balls.
So, but is
What
that,
do the gold
is
balls
that
do? They,
Better, is
I-
that better or
we haven't
worse
figured
than
it
They
out.
just
just
fly around.
having flight?
See, I would take gold balls over flight.
I would if I had, I would take flight. But if I was limited to flight, and if I was going to fight people, I'd probably want the gold balls.
You'd want the gold balls. Yeah. All right.
If you were an assault team member, you would take gold balls. If it's just for personal use, take flight.
Take flight. Absolutely.
And for recreational use, you probably want the
Gold
gold balls.
balls. I was just about to say flight. I was like, no, balls of gold.
For weekends, which is for ho shit, you'd want
Gold balls.
Gold balls.
Yep. What about flight and gold balls? I think if we're talking weekends or for host shit, we want both.
now you're talking some good quality X-Men.
Yeah.
Because if you just fly around in circles shooting gold balls down, like, boom, 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 take my gold ball.
Yeah.
Boom, boom,
Be
boom, boom, boom.
invited to every event. Ever.
Gold angel balls. It's like that could probably exist. They could make out for like three
Why not just have it?
panels, not even like
I would cut the gold out and I would just go buy angel balls.
angel balls. Balls that fall from the sky.
And then my costume would have a giant gold ball sack. So when
Nice.
people are seeing me fly, I'd be like horizontal, but
think
hanging down from my
be like
my
truck-
horizontal
truck nuts?
flight. Exactly, it'd be a giant sack of gold.
Are
balls.
you not concerned about aerodynamics?
Not
No.
when you have wings.
Not
no.
when you're an X-Men.
So you're saying that you're just blanket statement all the X-Men don't care about aerodynamics?
You
Have you
show
seen
me
the
where
way
they
that some of
have.
them fly?
That's a good point.
You show me where in the book they ever talk about aerodynamics.
The book is like
The-
a
the
million,
one book.
the good book. It's like 1,000,000 pages long. Well, I'll direct you to the Uncanny X-Men 347 and the 5th panel where you can see Beak and Beast clearly.
At
using
one
tongue.
point, when they're making out, they stop and say, "We should think about the aerodynamics of."
No, he doesn't stop. He's just doodling. Beast is doodling. In
I
the
mean,
background.
because Dr. McCoy is very scientific, so of course he wants the best, angular penetration of his lips and tongue. And I'll just let that linger in the air for a minute.
Do you think he applies the scientific mind?
You mean the scientific method?
Well, his scientific mind to sure the scientific method of sure. Do you think he applies that much thought to things such as making out?
Absolutely. I have nothing to back that up.
yes, because he's probably thinking, I wonder if Beast's mouth tastes like chicken. It does.
Oh, so he starts with that. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
He was thinking
He's-
beast's mouth, or he's thinking
Beak's
beak's mouth?
mouth. So he starts with the hypothesis. I think Beak's mouth tastes like chicken. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do to test this? I've got it. I'm going to approach.
Make
Beak,
out with him for 12 issues.
Make out with for 12 issues of time. There's air quotes here, and then that's the data, right? That's the raw, physical, carnal data, and then he gets to come to a conclusion. Which I haven't read any of those issues, so you can enlighten me on how that ends.
Yes,
other than them
yes,
just
it
going
does.
to get shakes or something.
Yes, it tastes like chicken.
And then yes, I can conclude with certainty. Although more research, 8 more issues of research may be required, but I do have a conclusion that yes, tastes like chicken.
So do you think making out with a real chicken would taste like chicken?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I would. I certainly don't condone. Animal, human, anything like that. But I'm not a vegetarian or vegan, so I would eat a cooked chicken, and that would have to pass through my lips and tongue. I'm just gonna keep burying. I'm gonna keep digging. It's like just dig, and say yes. Cooked chicken, definitely not raw. No. Well, what do you think Dr. McCoy tastes like?
Oh, that's a good question.
Isn't it?
So
Well, I mean, it depends on what era you're talking about.
Right. Because he got
Because
furrier
he's very
and bluer.
kitty.
Yeah.
yeah, there's the
Very-
kitty version,
Kitty.
and there's the kind of more ape kind of version.
That's what I'm
Then there's
thinking
kind of
of,
the
yeah.
more demonic version.
Then there's Dark Beast.
There's dark
Ooh,
beast.
do you
So it might not
prefer
be
your
dark meat.
You're right, dark beast or white beast.
And there's Human Beast.
Yes, that's true. So the human one tastes like chicken.
Definitely.
The kitty one tastes like tuna fish.
Okay.
Or salmon.
Like canned salmon or fresh salmon?
Canned.
Glaze?
With pumpkin.
Pumpkin glaze or just
Smoked?
with pumpkin?
Yes.
Ooh.
And cream cheese and bagels.
Hey, now okay, so kitty beast tastes like breakfast.
Kitty Beast tastes like lox and bagels.
Yay.
Demonic beast tastes like Jubilee.
Which tastes like
Beak.
which tastes like chicken. We've come full
Okay,
circle.
so there. And ape beast tastes like chocolate
Heaven.
and strawberries.
Ooh, yes it does. And maybe just like a hint of fine champagne.
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 To go with the chocolate and strawberries. That sounds very nice.
It does. And you know what else sounds nice?
What's that?
Taking a break
Ah.
to hear some sponsorship.
Why not indeed?
Yeah, and before we do that, I would just like to invite our listeners to let us know what you think about everything that we've talked about. If you found your partner with an X-Men, who would you want it to be? Let us know. We're interested to hear.
What do you think is the worst superpower or X-Men power out there?
And how many characters would you like to see make out with each other for X number of issues? X feels appropriate.
We're
Which
gonna get- we're gonna
characters
get
would you
a-
like to
oh,
see
there you go.
make out for 12 issues?
There you go. Yes, that's what I meant.
And it's cheating to say Rogue and Gambit. Or Cyclops and Emma Frost. Or
Yes.
Cyclops and Jean Grey.
yes.
What about
Wolverine
Cable?
and anyone.
What about Cable and Jean Grey?
That's,
Oh.
Well, see, that would be fine because that's not his mom.
Well,
No, it was Madeline Pryor.
yeah.
So that's his mom. So I mean, well,
Eh,
Technically,
we're
it's a
splitting hairs
clone.
almost literally there.
I mean, clone. You can do that with a clone, right?
I don't know. Ask Jamie Madrox.
But he never does it himself.
How do you
There's
know?
there's 4 issues of that. Don't worry.
We'll have a
Learned a
we'll
lot
have a
about
Jamie
X-Men
Madrox
today.
specific episode.
Actually, I'm not sure if we are going to do a Jamie Madrox specific episode because I can't force my favorite character of all time on somebody else when I don't think we can talk about Jamie Madrox specifically for 45 minutes.
It would be an interesting thought experiment just to see what happens.
Yeah, we could try.
I think we could do it because I've got some stuff to say because that's actually a good. It's not really an X book, but it's a book I would recommend, which is the District M stuff.
Okay.
And the
And
X
then-
Factor.
Then the X Factor stuff that kind of dovetailed off of there.
Because I mean, you can't. The later versions of X Factor, where they are detectives in the mutant town.
I do like a good mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any really good mysteries in it. It's just really well written.
Okay. Well, I like deduction, and I like things that are written well.
Peter David does a really good job with those characters.
Nice.
Yeah, so there you go. There's a good, solid recommendation for you.
Bam. We got it just before the break.
Just before the break. And we'll come back with a tasty treat, and we'll describe it. And then we'll eat it.
Yeah.
In front of you. Not really in front of you, but kind of in front of
With
you.
our
in
lips
front of your
and
ears.
tongue.
Your ears will hear us enjoy it with our mouths.
Ooh, that's ASMR, basically.
Yeah, basically.
So we'll eat it close to the microphone.
But
much
first-
to everyone's chagrin.
A word from these messages.
A word from these messages.
A word from these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back. I don't know if I can do that or not.
A word from our sponsors with messages.
And sponsors.
And sponsors. All right, welcome back to A Pinch of Nerd, the podcast that combines food with nerds, and in this case, food with comic book characters named X-Men. Well, that's not really their name, but
It is
Well,
now.
except for
it's their
X-Man.
group name. Yeah,
Except for the man named Xavier.
Or the character named X-Man.
Oh, there you go.
right. So we're talking about the X-Men, and now we're going to be talking about food.
See.
So, Chef Aaron, tell us about what you've presented for us here today.
So for the X-Men recipe, what I came up with was this is going to take a little bit. This is a little bit of a stretch. Okay.
Fair enough.
So we've got
I'm cutting in.
Thaimales.
Thaimales.
So the impetus.
As in Thailand.
Yes. So the
As in Thailand tamales.
yes,
Excellent.
tamales from Thailand. So the idea for this came with the fact, and how I tie it to the X-Men is the fact that it's different cultures coming together to form one cohesive unit.
Like the X-Men.
Like the X-Men. You have all types of people. So what these are is essentially Thai curry tamales. Take some pork, stew it up with some curry sauce, and mix that in with some masa dough, and you've got yourself some tamales.
Oh, that's very good. I'm wondering specific curries, yellow, masmun, doesn't matter.
This one here is masaman.
Okay. I
but
love
no,
masaman.
Definitely, that's my favorite as well.
Yeah.
I use any curry you want.
Excellent.
I would honestly recommend, if you have the know-how or the things, make your own curry paste. Because I did not use it for this, and I will not use it for the YouTube video, just because it's not my recipe, but I have a really good one.
What's in, because a curry isn't like a thing, right? It's a combination of things.
Essentially, yeah. So the green curry that I make, which is the recipe I got from school, is there's jalapeno, cilantro stems, not leaves, cumin, coriander, lemongrass.
This makes me happy.
There's so many ingredients in it.
So many Thai chilies.
It is such
if you
a pain in the ass to make, but it is so worth it.
What makes it a pain in the ass to make?
You have to put the spatula in your butt.
Yes, it's a pain.
That would be
It's,
painful.
it's literally,
Or pleasurable, depends on who you are.
No, the real pain comes in from the jalapenos and the peppers.
Yes.
When you get that stuff around those sensitive areas, not a good time.
The couple of Thai recipes that we do at home, we, I guess because we're white, cut the Thai chilies by a third.
See, I usually don't use, in mine, I usually don't use any Thai chilies. I
Okay.
use straight up jalapenos. Or
Thai chilies.
I have been known to go habaneros
Oh,
to
okay.
make it really hot.
I do like my Thai chilies though, because I think it's not just about the hot, but I think there's a flavor profile there that I can't describe.
Yeah. No, I'm not opposed to it. Jalapenos are a lot easier to get.
That's true. Yeah.
So
So it's always like what would you sub lemongrass for, right? It's like sometimes you just have to go with the recipe, but when it comes to heat, we've got a lot of options.
yep. So like I said, I love making my own curry paste, but when I do it and the way we were taught is I do it all by hand. So toasting the cumin seeds, toasting the coriander seeds, running them through a mortar and pestle, putting in this, all the greens, again, mortar and pestle. You don't actually put it into a food processor until the very end, and that's to get that creamy consistency.
Sounds like a good arm workout.
It very is.
and you just mash that all together with the pork.
No, well, you'll take the pork, you brown the pork, and then you will mix the curry paste itself with with some coconut milk, and mix that all up, and then again stew. You can braise the pork inside the curry sauce. You can just cook it on the stove top. You can throw it in the crock pot.
Can you throw it in a cock pot?
You could throw it in the crock pot. Yes.
How long does it take the cock pot to cook?
It depends on the temperature.
Depends on how much foreplay.
Well, I assume that the cock pot is hot. So, how long then?
Well, you have to warm it up first.
Well, of
so
course
you have to get it rub it a little bit, work some oil into it.
Oh yeah. You don't want to saute dry, right? Like that's terrible.
No, you
You gotta
don't
get
want
in
you
there.
don't want to go. You don't want to raw dog it when it comes to the pork.
No. Yeah, you really want to get in there with some olive
don't get
oil.
it. Anyway,
yeah.
so
This is delicious.
this is really good. I enjoy tamales.
I
I
do too.
enjoy Thai food. Mm-hmm. And this is a really good combination of both those things.
Well, it was an idea I had a long time ago, and it took a little bit of tinkering, but I think I finally got the recipe down.
The one thing I would ask though is, I think it would be good with a sauce. So what kind of
Ooh, on
sauce would you
top,
put
yeah.
on top of it?
Yeah. I agree. Actually,
I would definitely try to do probably like a lemon cilantro crema. So take some sour cream, mix it with some lemon or lime, some cilantro, blend that shit up, sprinkle it on top.
Sprinkle it or splooge it on top?
Splooge it on top.
sour cream, because it's gross, has to be splooged. There is no other method of application. And by the way, just because I don't like sour cream doesn't mean that sounds excellent.
How can you not like sour cream?
Oh, have we not talked about this yet?
We're talking about ranch.
I abhor sour cream. Ranch gets a minor pass because it's really delicious with fried foods.
Were your parents killed by sour cream?
By sour cream Joker, and I'm secretly sour
Yes.
cream Batman. Yes, absolutely. No, I had. We went out to dinner at just like a taco stand, straight up a taco stand with outdoor seating, and I ordered super nachos. With a bunch of cheese and beans and meat and vegetables, and they
And splooge of.
and they like triple splooged. Like the entire kitchen just went to town with the sour cream. And I ate it all, but every bite just was worse and worse and worse. And I think it just ingrained in me that this is
So
disgusting.
I have a similar thing with actually Thai food.
I was going to say,
Oh, no.
I was thinking about this earlier too.
Our initial foray into the world of Thai food.
Yeah.
We were teenagers. It was
Yeah.
probably.
We
Okay.
had moved to a new town. We moved to Phoenix Mesa. Ugh. And we
Sorry
went
for
to
the
a
folks
Thai
in
food
Arizona
place
listening.
for the first time that I don't think I'd ever been to one. I don't know if anyone else in the family had.
No, I don't think we had, because it was such a new and novel concept. Because we like Chinese food, so we're like, hey, Thai food, same as Chinese food. Let's eat it.
Sure.
Holy shit, it was bad. What I had peanut chicken,
Okay.
which sounded good, like a peanut sauce on chicken, which a lot of people enjoy now. But the chicken, I got a chicken breast with like crunchy, chunky peanut butter spread on it. Not a peanut sauce, straight up Jif.
Jeff.
Just spread across
Is
a
it
piece of chicken.
Jif or was it GIF?
It was Jif.
I would love
because
to find a GIF
would
of Jif.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I was gonna ask.
It was so bad. We were taking
Everything.
turns like washing the peanut butter off the chicken so I could
Wow.
at least eat the chicken.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, that was single-handedly the worst meal. And I mean, we, to this day, our parents will not eat Thai food.
Oh wow.
I
took-
wouldn't eat it for a long
It took
time.
Jay and I till college
Wow.
to actually try Thai food again.
And see, I grew up Southern California, so there's, pick a street corner and there's something new and interesting.
Thai food right now is one of my favorite types of food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, and even now, I mean, all I order at a Thai food restaurant is curries. And I used to not go anywhere near curry because I don't like Indian food.
I still,
Ah,
yeah.
You don't like Indian food now?
so
I don't like. I still don't. I'm still not a big fan of Indian food.
All right, we need to have Aaron over at mine and my wife's place because my wife makes incredible Indian food.
Well, see, so
Does,
I
and
do
I
like,
don't like Indian either, and I don't like curry typically, but I do like, segueing back to these Thai tamales, I do like Thai curry,
yes,
and I like some of the Southeast Asian
Yeah.
curries.
the definite coconut curries are definitely a different beast
Yes.
than the Indian curries.
Have you ever had Japanese curry?
I don't know if I have.
It's brown, more like almost like a gravy, like a meat gravy over rice, sometimes served with chicken katsu. It's totally different.
Don't think I have. I have had, I have started to get in.
It's really good.
I do like some Indian foods, like tikka masala. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
But just some of the stuff, I think I've narrowed it down to I'm not a big fan of turmeric.
Oh.
And I think that's the biggest
thing.
aspect of it that I
actually make a pretty gnarly turmeric salmon.
Yeah, there's something in the typical Indian curry.
Yeah.
That I don't enjoy.
Could be there's a lot of cumin in a lot of recipes, which can.
Well, there's a lot of cumin in
this too.
Yes, there's cumin in this.
I can definitely
Mexican
taste
food,
That's
which
true.
I do enjoy.
Okay, so it's not cumin then. Yeah, it could be turmeric.
So it might be, and as we've established in the other episodes, I can't distinguish. My palate cannot distinguish between anything.
And I'm even trying to think right now, like, what is the flavor profile of turmeric? I can always see it and sense it in a dish. I don't know that I can. Right.
Its flavor,
the flavor
profile is yellow.
It's yellow.
Staining yellow.
Very stainy yellow. When I make that salmon, my nails are all messed up for like a week. But it's so good.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
No,
but I will. Well, I'm sure we'll get
different
to
strokes
Indian,
for different folks.
We'll get to Indian food at some point, but
I hope so.
Once I was introduced to the fact that they do have fried cheese, I was like, oh, okay, I'm in.
Oh, you're talking about paneer.
Yeah, well, sure. I'm just talking about fried cheese.
Yes.
You put some fried cheese on my plate, I'm going to be like, yum. I don't care where it's from or what kind of cheese it is.
How do you feel about palak paneer, which is the cheese and the spinach? Ooh,
I don't know.
We need the crickets button for that.
Maybe.
I just realized,
I like spinach. I like cheese. So
yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Is it deep fried? Because that's
not
the secret.
It is.
That's the secret.
I think
that
it's just
unlocks the
lightly
cheesiness.
sautéed and then wilted and then.
And is it Velveeta cheese?
It is definitely not Velveeta cheese.
Because that would be delicious.
Oh God, no, it wouldn't. So then, yeah, there's clearly things that all of us here are kind of like, yeah, that's just not really my jam, but I'm happy that others can enjoy it. I'm happy that the idea of this tamale with like a basically lemon cilantro crema sounds awesome for other people. It might not be awesome for me. I might want more of like what would be cool is some kind of a chipotle thing. Would be kind of nice.
See, I think chipotle.
But maybe that's overpowering.
That would overpower it. I think.
I love chipotle
because you get with these, you got the taste of the masa is the curry and coconut.
Right.
So I think chipotle would come and basically just that's all you would taste.
Maybe. So I know in Indian curries they do a lot of chutneys, like a cooler taste. I don't know if there's like a Thai equivalent of that.
Not that I know of, but I'm not 100% up on all the intricacies of Thai food.
Okay. I can't say that I am either. I know that Jay likes Velveeta cheese.
Why don't you get up to
working on it?
Believe me, if I could, I would. That is one of the places that we want to go to do a culinary.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Expedition.
Yep.
Okay.
You want to lick all of the plates in Thailand?
Yep.
All of them.
Which plate would you lick? So, if there was an X-Men that had just finished eating, and you were going to lick their plate, which X-Men would you want to lick the plate of?
Hope Summers.
I'm gonna go Gambit because Cajun food. Hell yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go with Beast on this one because it's probably just like massive. It's probably just like dog food.
Yeah, it's just hair all over the place.
And hair all over the place.
Yeah.
I would say Gambit's probably a good choice because he probably has eaten some good quality food.
Some gumbo, some red beans and rice. That sounds great.
Scott would no. There's no way in hell I would do Scott.
White bread and mayo.
Exactly. It'd be bologna sandwich. It'd just be
macaroni and
shit
cheese, but not Velveeta,
No.
just the blue box stuff.
God, that's a good question.
Isn't
Whose
it though?
plate would I lick?
What do you think Jean Grey eats? What's good for the brain? A lot of folate, right? So like
yeah.
fish.
Salmon.
Yeah.
Some
Fish
fish.
and
Yeah.
fish
So
roll.
no
Okay.
fish
All
for me.
I don't know. Did we ever see Professor Xavier eat? We probably do.
Maybe what's his name? Rasputin. Colossus. Because
The big plate.
if he's just eating some of those delicious Russian dumplings,
there you go.
I'm all over that. So I think, assuming that he's eaten a ton
Okay,
of
that's my
dumplings.
bad. When you said Colossus, I thought Galactus, and I'm like, that would be a huge plate.
Yeah, no, that's different.
That's very different.
That's
That'd be like
that's a Fantastic Four.
a plate
super-
with
that's a
like planet Mars
planet.
on it. That would be cold.
So, for those of you listening, let us know whose plate you would like to lick clean. And also, more importantly, if you do try this recipe for these very good Thai mollies, TM trademarked or no trademark? We should trademark it.
We probably should get on that.
Trademark pending.
Patent pending.
Let us
There you
know. Tag us in the socials, and let us know what you think of them and how delicious you think they are. Because
What tag should they
they
use?
damn delicious.
Oh yeah. Do we have a hashtag that we want to
Hashtag
Thaimale?
lick my plate.
Hashtag
I don't know
Goldballs.
I don't know if we want to do that or that one because those might can bring some
Hashtag
really
Goldballs.
fucked up
Sorry.
ones.
Hashtag Goldballs.
Yes.
Hashtag Goldballs on my plate.
Goldballs licking my plate.
Lick,
Goldballs
lick my
licking
gold
my-
doll plate. Ooh, would you lick Goldballs plate?
No, because it would taste like metal.
Tastes like gold.
They do. Yeah. Have you ever put gold leaf on stuff?
No.
Oh, thank you.
That's-
No gold leaf and no truffle oil, please.
All right. Well, that's it. On that note, thanks for joining us on another episode of Pinch It Nerd. I have been and always am J. Allen Bell.
I continue to be Mark Adams.
And I will forever be known as Chef Aaron Bell.
Peace out. Extreme friends.
That was lame.
X-mans. X-womens. X-gender.
We love you all. We wish we
X's.
could make you out. Jesus. We love you all. We wish we could make out with you for 12 episodes.
12 issues.
12 issues and 12 episodes because we do podcasts.
Yeah, true. Bye.
Peace out.